Every now and then, Kane, I like to do something that's called We Got a Story to Tell. So I like to get people who have a lot of knowledge and have been successful in the game for a long time and get some of their thoughts and things, what's happening. So before we talked, I had shared that I don't think I saw you that night, C, in Latin Quarter. Did you go to Latin Quarter too?
Of course I was.
See?
Yeah. We performed there a few times. But I think you were saying earlier that
it was Biz Markie's performance.
Okay, yes,
I wasn't there.
I kind of remember what you had. You Furry, was it Furry Kango?
It's possible.
If I remember it right, I feel like it was white. I don't know why.
No, matter of fact, you know what? I had a white joint that I used to wear heavy with some white bellies.
I'm on my hip hop, bro.
I have a white one, yeah.
And if I remember the night correctly, but this had to be 86, 87, right? So now, take me back before that. Take me back before Biz. So when do you and Mr. C meet each other?
Me and Mr. C meet in high school in Sarah J. Hale.
So we're 11th, 12th grade. That's where we're at.
Nah, this might be like 10th grade, maybe.
Yeah, like
10th grade. So C, are you DJing at this point in the parties?
Hold on, let me tell it.
Okay.
Let me tell it.
Because C might change it up.
No.
we got the same story. We got the same story.
All right.
One of my boys that I used to hang with, he battled Mr. C rapping.
Okay.
And C took him out.
So C wanted to rhyme then.
Nah.
He wasn't.
Nah, he wasn't rhyming. But he battled dude, and dude took him out, and then dude was like, "Yo, all right, well, you think you nice? Battle my man Kane. And see, you know who he? Bring him." So they came and got me.
Brooklyn shit.
I come and battle C. Was we in the staircase or something?
We was in the lunchroom.
Lunchroom? Okay, yeah. Come battle C, and then that's when C was like, "Nah, I don't really rhyme, man. Like those are some of. I'm a DJ. Those are some of my MC's rhymes."
Oh, so when it really got to the time to make it happen.
Yeah. He was like, "I don't really rhyme."
Hold this up.
Yeah.
All right, I respect that. Some Leo shit. Take it as far as you can.
Yeah. So that's when then he told me about his crew, Magnum Force, and asked me about getting down with them. So I got down with him and his rap group.
All right, now, who are those rappers? Because now I need to know who.
They was from They was from my projects in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, from Lafayette.
Belly Vel, Mellow D, Monkeroy, Shepsky.
Right. And then AJ Fresh was the other DJ.
Yeah, another DJ.
That passed away.
Okay, so now, what year is this?
It's like 84, right?
84, 85.
So to paint the picture, this is Run DMC. This is Curtis Blow time. This is Magic's on the radio, Marley's on the radio,
Fat
Red's
Boys,
on the radio,
all of that.
Fat Boys,
Divine
Chuck's on the radio,
Sounds.
Divine Sounds. Okay, so it's this time. So where do you and C branch off? When do you say we want to do something different, or
we
you
were
want
serious
to go
about
solo?
it. The other cats, they was into what they were into. I think one went into the Army Reserves or something like that, and other cats did what they think. Me and C was serious about it, so we stuck with it. But C started, I guess, became like the I don't know what you call it, the house DJ for this dude named Eric D, who was doing mad parties in Brooklyn. So
is it indoor and outdoor, or just indoor? What
indoor.
Is it? Indoor in the club.
Yeah. Big joints. He was doing big joints, like bringing like all the hot Salt and Pepper, Dougie Fresh, all the hot artists.
If you know the old armory buildings.
And
he was doing parties in the big armory buildings, which is now they're homeless shelters. But back then they was the armory buildings. So this guy Eric D, who was from my projects, was a party promoter, and he was doing parties, and I was like one of the main house DJs.
No, you was the house. Don't be mine.
This is a weekly.
No, this was like every 3 months, every 3 to 5 months. Every 3 to 5 months he would do parties.
So are you in now party DJ mode, or are you still in rapper DJ group mode?
No, I was kind of doing both, because I was doing a lot of house parties in my projects, in Lafayette Garden Project in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, playing outside, doing house parties and stuff like that. So I was, considered one of the top DJs from my projects, from the projects I was from. And the guy Eric D was from my projects as well. Okay. And so he started throwing parties, and he started booking the local acts from my projects and from our area to perform at these shows or whatever the case is.
Now, where do you come in this, Kane?
Well, when I started,
and is your name Big Daddy Kane at the time?
yes,
Yeah.
Big Daddy Kane from the gate.
yeah.
You never had
Well, he was
another name.
MC Kane first.
MC Kane.
But
Yeah,
by the
this
time we hooked up, he was Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Ask him how he got the name Kane.
How did that happen?
See, he thinking
Story
about
to
something
tell.
else. He thinking about something. But honestly, no, really, all jokes aside, really, the Kane part really came from the David Carradine TV show, Kung Fu.
Okay.
You know, that's just like from childhood jokes. But he talking about I used to have high.
When I first came to his house, at his mother's house, when I first came to, rest in peace, his mom, when I first came to his house, I walked in his room. There's a bunch of canes dangling. He got canes dangling from the ceiling.
You collect?
Yeah,
And you had to walk in his room, you had to like get through
Man,
his
cut it
canes,
out, man.
bro, to get through his room. So I'm thinking that's why he called himself MC Kane.
Nah.
So now the Kane changes to Big Daddy Kane in this 84.
Yeah, probably around there, probably around
84,
85.
85.
Probably
Okay.
85, maybe, I don't know, something. But yeah, but that's what it was. But we was committed, you know, but it was like, you know,
Before Cold Chillin', did you guys shop anywhere? Did you shop to any other labels or people who told you
did.
down or told you no?
we never shopped none of our stuff, did we?
We never shopped our stuff, but we was in.
I shopped something though. Oh, you talking about Mike Music?
Yeah, we was in a contest called at Celebrity Tuesdays at Latin Quarter. If
Okay.
you remember that.
Oh yeah.
This is awesome too.
This is awesome too. With Special K Teddy Ted, we was a part of their contest with Celebrity
So
Tuesdays.
this had to be 86. No. This is early 87 then.
This is like this is 86. This is 85, 86. We was a part of the Celebrity Tuesdays contest with the Awesome 2. We won the contest. And we was offered a record deal with Reality Records, which was the same record label that Dougie Fresh was on.
Correct.
But we didn't.
And
The
I feel like
deal looked kind of nasty.
Divine Sounds was on that too, right?
and
Well,
Divine-
here's
my-
what it was. It was a production deal through Mike Music from Divine Sound.
Okay.
And we actually did. No, I mean we actually did do the contract, but when the show and Lottie Dottie dropped, it was like where Reality, they wasn't not only not focused on us, they wasn't even focused on Divine Sound anymore.
It's over.
So that was
Because
the
that
end of
Do or
that.
Die Bed-Stuy record was fire. Fire in the hood.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so then you gave some history to this. So that is the label. That was Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh were on there. So you were, this had to be 80, this had to be mid 85, 86 because
Yeah.
or 86 it could have been because that record did ride into 86, Lottie Dottie in the show.
Right.
Okay. So then now, are you technically, did you sign the paperwork?
Yeah.
And they just never came to do nothing with you?
Well, I mean, I was underage with no
Okay.
legal representation.
So the, okay. Meaning, nigga, if you listening now, you're not getting a dime. That's what it was. And rest in peace, I think, rest in peace, I think, did Mike Music pass away?
Yeah.
I just wanted
No,
to
but it wasn't a deal with Mike Music though.
It was a deal with
it was with Reality. Yeah.
Reality.
Yeah.
Okay, so then now,
Now Mike showed love. He tried his best to make it happen.
were you discouraged now? This isn't working out. You don't have a deal. Who's the next person you come across? Who's the next people that you meet?
Well, like around the same time I was rocking with C, I was also rocking with Biz.
Okay.
Cause see, it's like when he first got with the dude Eric, he used the MCs from around the projects. He didn't use me till later on. C finally got him, I guess, to start using me for the shows later on.
Gotcha.
But it was like I was, I really had nowhere to go. So and then me and Biz got cool, so I was rocking with Biz.
Now, Biz at the time, this is Biz Markie, right? So now Biz if I'm coming right, he has Make the Music with Your Mouth, Biz.
He didn't have nothing.
He didn't have nothing yet.
nothing
You were there before he even had a beat.
Biz was just somebody doing a human beatboxing rhyme, and this dude I knew from Long Island named Wayne, he used to always tell me about this dude, Biz Markie this, Biz Markie that. Then one day he was by my grandmother's crib, and he's like, yo, Biz Markie in the mall. He was doing the beatbox, doing that record Numbers.
What
and
mall?
such and such. Albee Square Mall.
Okay.
Yeah, he was
Which you
telling me
made
about
legendary out here.
Yeah, Biz actually made the song, the Albee Square Mall song, But he telling me about that day, and I'm like, he over there right now? Yeah, I'm like, all right, I tell you what, take me over there, let me meet him. And after I bust his ass, I don't want you telling me about this motherfucker no more. From now on, you tell Biz about MC Kane. So me and Biz, we met.
So Biz isn't rhyming yet. No,
No, Biz is rhyming.
He's rhyming.
Yeah. We met, we battled, After the battle, Biz was like, yo, you dope. You should get down with me. You should do some joints with me.
Now you fast forwarded a little bit past the battle. And I want to.
For you and Biz.
Yeah. Because I want to be. So now, was it a couple rounds? Was it one? Like, how did that pan out? That battle.
I want to
Did
say
Biz beat you? Did you beat Biz?
Yeah.
Nah. I'm gonna tell you another purpose of this thing that I'm doing, which is we got a story to tell. I'm also, I'm gonna use this word or phrase, hell bent on documenting the history properly. Because I feel like with the internet and with certain people, they want and outside of the circle like to give their own version of shit. So I'm hearing from the horse's mouth, which is you. So
No, I feel you.
in that,
Okay.
if we had a battle, was it did he admit you took him out? Did he take you out? I mean, this is people want to know, bro.
I'm okay. Here's the deal. We battled.
See.
No, I mean I never thought I have to answer this question seriously.
No,
mean, we
no.
went like,
We're talking 84, 85. I don't know.
Now you know, but we went like by 2 or 3 rounds, like on some lyrical stuff, and then when Biz saw that that was where I'm strong at, he went into some funny stuff about girls. He switched and started rhyming about girls.
Switched up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you remember I used to have to learn to pick the right bitch.
Yeah,
like this
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So then I went on some funny stuff about girls.
Okay.
And then Biz did that crazy laugh. That's dope. And he was like, okay. And then he was like, yo,
Stop
you
it right
dope.
here.
Told me to get down with him. Promised that he was gonna get me a record deal, and like just said, yo, just believe in me. I do shows in Long Island, the Bronx, and all this here. We can get some money.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was a man of his
And he
word.
was true to his word, right?
A man of his word.
So in the whole, because I remember seeing you. My first time seeing Kane was I feel he had nobody. No. He had Make the Music, and then he had the Biz Dance, and a couple other records, and then he had Nobody Beats the Biz, and that period between that song and Nobody Beats the Biz, Biz's pen game changed. Right there. That's where I saw the pen game change. Because we want to document the history book right. I remember Biz being explosive in the club, right? His records. And I commend him for something because I remember seeing him and Shantae once in Latin Quarter. No, Union Square. And he did the dance and he got booed.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the first time I ever saw it. Then I remember by Latin Quarter time, which was maybe a couple months, he did that dance and the whole spot.
You sure you don't mean Roxy?
I don't know. I think it was Latin. I don't know why.
No, I'm talking about the first time.
The first time I saw it, and I felt like he didn't get a good crowd reaction, was Union Square.
Sure it was Union Square? It wasn't Roxy?
I thought that's what it was. I mean, if we go Roxy, then the Roxy had to be earlier than that.
Exactly. With him with Shantae, that's that's you talking like maybe like 85.
Maybe it was. Maybe you're right. You might be right. Maybe it was.
Yeah.
And I remember him now. But what I respected so much about Biz is it didn't even faze him.
Nah.
Like he didn't even for you to a lot of rappers would have been like, yo, I'm not doing that ever again.
No, I almost got Biz booed on stage because of my ignorance.
Okay.
Just before we made records. Well, I mean, because he always liked me to do the rhymes about the girls, which I didn't want to do. I wanted to do the more battle rhymes. And in this particular time, we was opening up for Doug and Rick. In that time,
where was
it's
that?
like
Where was that?
This is somewhere in Long Island. But it's like at that time, it's like this is what Rick is known for: the funny rhymes about girls. It's like I'm him doing this on, what I'm saying? Like I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. But Biz asked me to, and he started beatboxing, thinking and I just went for it on some real battle and stuff.
Wait for it.
And the crowd,
You felt it could happen. Let's change up.
Yeah, the crowd, you could see people walking away and Biz is sitting there beatboxing, looking at me like, you asshole. Yeah, we got that close to getting booed. I think Biz saved us by doing some crazy beatboxing stuff.
In seeing him, I used to love seeing him in the early days because Dougie Fresh had owned that lane. So it was hard for a guy like Biz to pierce through and come through. He would be great for a story to tell at some point. But back to that Nobody Beats the Biz. I could have swore I saw your name on that record, A. Hardy. Am I mistaken?
Nah. Well, I mean, but you gotta understand.
Oh, shit.
I mean, no. I'm gonna keep 100 with you. It's like, you know, even with me writing for Biz, this is how this stuff went down. Biz come to me and be like, "Yo, I'm gonna do this song called Nobody Beats the Biz, using the hook for Nobody Beats the Wiz, but I want to do a flow that's got to be like." Oh,
he knows where he wants to go already.
Exactly.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even like with Picking Boogers, he like, you know, like just joined by Picking Boogers, and somewhere in the song, I just need you to have something that says, "Hey Ma, what's for dinner? Go up your nose and pick a winner." So it's like he knows.
That record was so hard.
You know, it's like, yeah, I felt so wrong writing that, but at the same time, it was intriguing because it was some shit I would never do. You feel me? So I mean, it's like Biz over, but
So it's wordplay. You already had his melody. You already had where he wanted to go and his hooks.
Biz knew what he wanted. Yeah.
Okay, he was not doing a Drake. I get it. There's a you know. Okay, you know why Picking Boogers didn't take off?
Yeah, there's no escaping with this dude.
Yeah,
man.
you know why?
Like, I could duck, dodge. You know.
You know why Picking Boogers didn't take off the way it needed to? Because Nobody Beats the Biz was still ripping down the clubs.
Yeah, that was a big joint.
So when that record was coming, people were still on the Nobody Beats the Biz. I saw Biz. It was KRS-One and Scott LaRock's show at Latin Quarter, and they tore the place down. Biz is in the club. He says. Biz comes on the stage after they clear off. He says, "That's dope. That was crazy. Cool V, let him know who's going to be here next week." He threw on that Nobody Beats the Biz and started dancing. BDP was like, oh. They cleared off that side so hard. But I know what Biz wanted. He wanted people to see the two entities in the same room and the reaction. Because even me as a DJ, I was like, this record's hitting hard in here, man. Like, this is, I never saw that. I never saw it again either. I never saw someone confident enough in their music to say, I'm going to go on after these, at their show, meaning everybody in here tonight came to see them. Like, it was their show.
Nah, Biz is very competitive. That's something that drives him, you know, that competitiveness, and you know, he loves to perform. You know, I learned a lot from dude. Like, as far as it goes with stage stuff, I learned a lot from Biz. You know, when it comes to the stage.
And I guess because you said he was a man of his word, you know, which is comparison to how the game has changed. You know, everything he said, he delivered. Correct? Or what he said he was going to do with you.
Yeah.
So now now we get to that first song. Is the first song Just Rhyming with Biz? Is the first song?
Yeah, it's Just Rhyme with Biz and Get Into It.
Just Rhyming with Biz, Get Into It, and Something Funky was all on 112-inch.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Something Funky and Just Rhyming with Biz was the same beat.
Well, no, okay. I'm thinking of, and when it's through the speaker, Marley Marl will do the rest. That's the B-side of Raw.
Word to the Motherland.
That's B-side of Raw, yeah.
Okay, so then now.
Which was the second record.
Second.
So
Second 12-inch.
so the Just Rhyming with Biz. Now, is this the song that you guys create that now that you're on the road?
Nah.
He put you
we
out.
Did Something Funky, and
First.
after the session,
I don't know that song. Why is that song?
because Just Rhyme with Biz took over.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same exact beat, but what happened was after the session, me, Biz, and these young ladies, frickin' Frack, female MCs from Queens, we all did like a little cipher off the same beat. Marley played it on BLS, and more people requested that than Something Funky.
Well, so is Frickin' Frack on Just Rhyming with Biz?
Well, when the song came out, they cut them off. That's why it ends so abruptly. Do I come off? Yeah. Just stop like that. 'Cause
Sorry,
I was getting ready to announce
Frickin'
them.
Frack. Sorry. Okay. So that beat hard. That beat was hard.
What, you talk about Just Rhyming with Biz?
Oh,
Well, you know, we got to salute our guy Shimshon,
Shimshon.
who was he was from my projects. He was like another DJ from my project, from Lafayette Garden Projects in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. He he originally produced that beat.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we
Cassie
kind
whole
of
the track?
yeah.
Oh, you meaning that whatever that loop was and everything
Yeah, the
else?
James Brown loop and the whole drum pad and everything was really Shimshon.
So where does Marley come into the
Marley
picture?
just kind of just tweaked it out, just tweaked the record. Like Kane brung it to Marley, and then
Well,
So you had the song already.
Yeah,
had
yeah,
the beat
but
already.
whatever the
You had the
keyboard
beat.
was that Shim had, it didn't even hook up to like the fancy stuff that Marley had.
Got
you.
you.
So like it had to be redone on Marley's equipment.
Right.
Remember? Yeah.
Now, is this in the projects? Is this in Queensbridge?
Nah, this is in his projects.
And
at
Lafayette,
LG,
when the guy
That's what we
Shimshon
did.
from my project, from Lafayette Garden Projects in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, he originally produced it in his crib in Lafayette Garden Projects.
Got you. And you put vocals down to it and everything.
Well, I'll just rhyme it to it.
You have that version?
Nah,
I would love to hear it.
nah.
Nah, if anybody.
And it was on
has
it was on a 4-track. That was when Shimshon produced it. It was originally on the 4-track. And actually, on the credits on Long Live the Kane, on the back of the credits, you'll see special thanks to Shimshon for just rhyming with Biz.
So now you're with Biz. You're not. There's no paperwork with you. You're just rolling. You're a man of your word. He's a man of his. Now, how does it now? When Raw comes out, which is hard, like I got a question.
What?
I always, but Raw, them up tempos, you and Slick Rick, I always felt like there was like not an issue, but competition. I always like in the music. Am I calling that right?
Nah. If musically, if I was competitive, or if I was being competitive with anybody, it would probably be G-Rap.
G-Rap.
Like me and G-Rap would be on the phone 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, like yo G, check this out. I got this joint, the best. So yes, I guess a couple of nice ladies hit me. All right, check this out. The creature feature camps eruption. Like this is what this. So if anybody, it was friendly competition because we was on the same label. And we both was trying to get on.
Okay. And now, did you know G-Rap before he was on the label?
Well, G and Biz came to the Juice Crew pretty much around the same time.
Got you.
So it was like I think he just had this a demo, and I didn't have nothing, but we was both waiting to get on. And then when Warner Brothers took Cold Chillin' over, they was like, yeah, we want Shantae, Shan, and Biz. They didn't even want me and G. So now me and G like feeling like we the lyricists of the crew, but nobody don't even want us.
We're not living.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't.
So Raw, you're on Coachillin'. When Raw's out, and you're not signed to, you don't even have album plans yet. There's not even a plan for your album to come out.
When Raw, nah, wasn't until really after Raw.
No, it was after Raw.
But see, when we put the Just Rhyme with Biz joint out, you gotta understand, Biz is popping. I'm new, and he rhymed first, so everybody thought that was Biz's song.
Okay.
Latin Quarters, the Zodiac, Union Square,
Lord.
all these spots, Rooftop. They booking Biz, just assuming that the dude that rhyme after Biz gonna be there with him. So
Okay.
I got a song out, but my ass is broke.
All right.
You
You're
know.
getting the look, but you're not getting to where you need to be.
Nah, I mean, I can't really call that the look. You know what I'm saying?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't where you need to
like,
be.
It's like Biz was getting the look.
Was it frustrating you?
Hell yeah. Like if
Okay,
you ask
just
Fly
rhyming
Ty,
with Biz.
This is just rhyming with Biz. I'm talking about.
Did you write that? Biz's verse?
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, that's Biz.
I'm the
like,
rap
That's
promoter.
Biz. Like I'm better.
That
That's
record was
Biz
so
telling me what he
hard.
wants.
That record was
Yeah.
so hard.
Yeah, nah.
Okay, so but he gave you everything. Well, it was like a one hand wash the other. It's really making a team super strong, like you and him.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I assisted, but he helped me out a lot too, because I mean, it's like, how to perform, even like I would like to say how to structure records. All that, a lot of stuff I learned from that dude,
So after Raw, right? Where are you at now? Raw, you're getting your own shows now.
Yeah, finally, yeah.
Okay, so now you see on the road.
U.S. Air,
You wow,
heavy U.S. Air.
Oh yeah.
making it happen. So
Wait
now,
for Fly Miles.
so now, when does the Raw? Was that your idea? Is that Marley's idea? How does Raw even come about? That song?
Well, what originally happened was once, because I've been begging Tyrone for the longest, like, yo, I'm broke. Nobody's booking me. They think that's Biz's song. I need a song with just me on it. Ty, like, yo, you still got life in this, man. Chill. You ain't time. I'm begging this dude every week, man. Finally he just gave in, was like, yo, just go ahead, record something. Let's see how it sound.
Okay.
And Marley did a beat, a drum machine beat. And that's what we was gonna use for Raw. And I believe that morning in the studio, that morning I stopped by downstairs, and this cat used to work there named JC. He was
Downstairs Records.
Yeah, Downstairs Records. He was like, yo, we got these James Brown joints in, imports, James Brown imports. And he played the joint the Kid and Play used, that one, another one, and then he played the Bobby Bird, I'm Coming Last. And I'm like, he was like, I said it last, I knew he was gonna lie. I'm like, yeah, I need that. I took it, went to Marley. Me and Marley, we had like he was, like I said, Marley had already made a beat. But I'm like, nah, we gotta use this. This is it. So Marley.
Did you keep the music and everything? You changed the music, everything, or just
everything.
The drum pattern?
Like Marley had drums that he had already played from something else. Like kick and snare that he already played.
Okay.
And I come talking about, nah, we looping this record. You know?
You was riding that record so crazy on that snare.
Like you understand, like that's that hunger dude.
Yo.
For real. The Miss Meal.
There was so many jabs and disrespect and like and sunning going on in that record. Oh my God. Okay, now I see. Are you cutting on that record?
Cutting out, I did the scratches on Raw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hard.
And you know, the one thing about the scratches on Raw that a lot of people don't know, if you go after the last chorus.
Oh yeah.
The get me?
And I'm like the hit, the hit. There's a part when I go hit, the hit, boom. The record skipped.
You left
and the scratches, and we left it because I caught it back.
Perfect.
You know how you would
hard?
Yo, as a DJ, you know how you would scratch something and then it would skip, but then you catch it back.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened on the actual recording of the record.
Nah, it's tough. I was wondering what that noise was.
Stayed on beat.
I thought it was like
Exactly.
something.
It was on beat and it just
stayed on beat. So
you know
we
what it was? You remember I'm Going Down by Rolls Royce?
Absolutely.
Like when her voice crack on Look What You
leave it.
Yeah, you just leave
It was just so perfect.
Yeah.
So now Raw, you're on the road now. How much are you making a show now when Raw's out?
And we was getting it.
Look.
1,500. That was a lot to me in '87, baby.
Hell, there's a lot of money. Crazy.
You dig? It was a lot.
That's 1,200s and everything. That's a lot of money. Okay, so then now you're doing shows. When does the whole album come into play?
After Raw, that's when
Pretty much,
it was
yeah.
like, yeah.
So
After
then,
Raw.
so what happens now? Ty says, "I want to do an album." Or is it the first one was not through Warner, was it?
Well, now here's what happened. They did the Warner deal. They didn't want me or G. So Ty put Raw out on Prism,
Which I remember.
and it took off even like way better than Just Rhyme with Biz, and a lot faster than they. It was like getting major play.
It was happening.
So Warner said, "Yo, what's up with this Kane dude? All right, don't print nothing else up. We're gonna put it out on the Warner imprint and put it on this movie soundtrack for this flick called Colors."
Was it a different version?
Nah,
Same version.
Nah, same version.
It was the same version.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how that came into play. And then we ended up doing the deal, joining them on Warner Brothers.
Did Shantae have her working on that?
Yeah. Called
Yeah.
Skeezer.
Yeah.
It was a record called Skeezer. And you know, back then
one.
rappers wasn't on soundtrack. So that was like the Colors movie soundtrack. That was one of the first, soundtracks with hip hop on it, pretty
That
much.
Colors was coming out.
One of the first.
Ice-T?
Ice-T,
was
yeah.
coming out them cars.
Yeah, the big
you
joint
you
on
see a car at a stoplight. You're like, record was hard.
And then the Colors movie soundtrack went gold. So that was our first plaque.
Yep.
And then you get a check.
That was our first plaque.
And there's a
That was
check.
our first.
I'm assuming there was a check involved.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
And whenever you get up here and talk to Ice-T, ask him about
Oh,
that.
you just want to know what's up. Got it.
That's how we found out. yeah.
Okay, so then now you're working on the first album, right? Somewhere in here. Okay, so then now, so the relationship with Marley. So then now is Marley. Now he's of course playing the records, which is important. He's on the radio, and then are you recording in Marley's studio now? Is that how you're recording this first album?
Yeah, the first, Long Live the King was done in Marley's studio.
Okay, so then now, this comes out. How much does that album sell when it does drop?
What, Long Live?
Yeah,
First album.
When it
Went gold.
Yeah,
went
but
gold.
remember it went gold after It's a Big Daddy thing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It was doing good, but I don't know, it might have been maybe like around
Now,
400,000.
to get my songs, because sometimes I get the songs confused on which album. This is Ain't No Half Steppin's on this
Yeah,
first
Ain't
one,
No Half
right?
Steppin', Set It Off.
Set It Off. Did 45 King do that? Set It Off?
Yeah.
Okay, this is not Warm It Up though. Warm
No,
It
no,
Up,
no, that's on the
okay,
second
so
album.
this is first up. So is the first single Ain't No Half Steppin'?
Yeah.
Okay, what's next single?
Set It Off was
I don't have a 12-inch of that. I'm concerned.
It was only an import of the 12 inch.
Concerned that I don't have
Yeah,
that.
it was only an import.
'cause
but
it
Set It
was-
Off was technically our second single.
No, but that was only the second single in the UK.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. It was there was the
But
European.
second single here was I'll Take You There.
I'll
right?
Take You There with Rather Kane on the B side.
Okay, Rather Kane, tough. The breakdown in there, where right before he says you break it down and nothing happened, then see you scratch that. What are you scratching on that record?
Here to Bring Trouble To. That was from The Name Is Big Daddy.
From one of those records.
The Name Is Big Daddy. That's from Ain't No Half Steppin'.
Now the one that 45 King Set It Off. I remember always hearing that in the house clubs at the time.
Oh, the down, no, 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 no.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's some house record.
yeah, but I remember, I remember people playing your verse, your song.
I
That
thought you-
particular song, heavy in the house clubs, like the what was that? The World. That's what it was. Or which
Yeah,
was
nah,
what
that'd
street
be-
was that?
'Cause that was something that 45 King originally did for Biz.
Okay.
But he had it.
Did Biz ever lay a verse to it?
No. Biz didn't like it.
He just-
But he had it slow for Biz, like bzz, ba-da, ba-do, ba-do. Biz didn't like it, and I told him I like it, but can it go faster? And 45 King was like, it's funny you say that because it actually supposed to go faster. And then he played a different version that he had submitted for a Public Enemy remix,
Wow.
and
Wow.
that ended up being the one we used.
That was-
And salute to Cool V, because Cool V actually did the scratches for Set It Off.
Yeah,
If I'm correct.
Yeah.
I didn't do the scratches for Set It Off. Cool V did.
Why?
And Cool V,
I'm
what Cool
curious.
V did, from what I understand, because I wasn't there for the session, I think Marley had to slow the track down.
For him to-
And then Cool V did I Can't Hold It Back, and then spud it back up to the regular speed, and that's why you hear, I can't hold it back. But
Sounds nuts.
Marley slowed it down so Cool V can cut to a regular speed.
See, you want to
And
let
then-
it be known that just in case you think this
Yeah.
thing is overly nice with his
No.
hand.
Let
That's
me
some DJ
let me
shit.
tell you something. Let me tell you
It's the
something.
truth. No, we're keeping it a buck.
I'm gonna keep it funky
No,
with you.
he's right.
Let me
You're
tell you
right.
something.
This dude
I'm gonna keep
is
it funky
the
with
worst,
you. There was
man.
let
you
me
say,
tell you
hey,
something.
man,
There was 4 DJs, just like Kane said. There was like when Kane was talking about G-Rap earlier, keeping him on his toes. There was 4 DJs, well 5 DJs for me that kept me on my toes on how to scratch properly on records. One was Cool V. You had Chill Will and Barry B.
Tough.
Down with Dougie Fresh. They had ill cuts. I used to always listen to their cuts, and Terminator X from Public Enemy. So I used to always, try to match
that's-
what I did.
that was the bar.
Compared to what, and Jam Master Jay, of course, and compared to what they did or whatever the case is. So V
Jam
was
Master-
always one of my favorites.
Jam Master was really good at giving you a funky feel from whatever he's
Right.
putting in. Because I Can't Stop, which he scratched a lot,
Yeah.
was actually a boring record.
Right.
But
But he
it's
made it exciting the way he
The way
scratched it.
because sometimes he hit it from right before the like the right before.
Right.
So then when you give it that, and then sometime before he got to, I know this is DJ Talk New York, but he would catch a sound, Jam Master. So if he caught the and before the wow, he's playing with the wow before he lets it go. That's some real like funky DJ shit. Rest in peace to Jam Master Jay. So album drops. How much you getting a show now, Kane? When the album's out? Because we was at 1,500. Where we now?
I don't know. Could have been maybe around like 6 or something like that. Maybe.
Nice.
Like 6, 7.
6, 7.
No, the first album.
First album, yes.
About 6. Something.
Yeah, like 6. Yeah, like 6, 7.
So now, how is it for you, Kane? Because you know, of course, when you think of when I thought of Marley and Magic in the beginning, I thought of Shan. You know, Shan was first. No, Shantae's
Shantae
first,
was
right?
yeah.
Shantae, then there's Shan, and then who comes next?
Biz.
Biz.
Biz or G-Rap? Biz?
Biz.
Yeah, Biz.
Biz. Then G-Rap. Now, of course, Biz is going and making big and bigger songs. Making big songs. Now, how is it relationship-wise, energy-wise, with Shan and Shantae? Because now you've come to the crew later, and now you are you're passing them in popularity. How is the camp? Is the camp smooth? It's everybody all good with it?
Well, it's like Biz. Biz was always like my brother, and I felt like I wouldn't have no career without him. You know what I'm saying? So that was always love. With me and G-Rap, it was the type of thing where we was always tight. It's just that G was going a different direction.
A little more street, a little more hardcore, a little more Eric B. and Rakim-ish.
Nah, he was pretty much on going NWA. It's like he was like, where
rated XXX.
So he was So it was like our audience, our demographics was changing. So me and G wasn't really having as many shows together as we used to. You know what I'm saying? And with Shantae, right when I first got down, I was Shantae DJ.
Okay, so you really did play for her.
No, I was like her, for her, for the whole
story to tell. Shantae got one of her top records, Gone Girl. He did the scratches on Gone Girl. Gone Girl, go. He did the scratches.
I know the song, but I'm trying to get the.
It was after Have a Nice.
Remember, used the Lynn Connor sample, the same.
Yeah,
the beat
okay.
that Rob Bass used.
Correct. That's what I thought was on that soundtrack, but it wasn't. I thought that was on the Color soundtrack.
Right, and he did the scratches on that record.
Get out of here. So was DJing always your thing, or you always did on the side?
It was like I started off with the DJing first, and then my cousin Murdoch started MCing, and he was like the older cousin I looked up to. So then I started trying to be an MC because that's what he was doing.
Okay. So now, and what about you and Shan's relationship? Did you even did you have a relationship with Shan?
Me and Shan didn't really have a good relationship from the beginning. Like we didn't get along. Me and Shan didn't really get along until maybe 89. I want to say.
Well, what caused like did you have interaction? Did you and him?
I guess me being the new dude that's down and
it was hot. You was hot.
I'm not gonna say all that, man. But it's just me being the new dude that's down, and it just we just wasn't I don't know. I guess.
Or did you just not have any dialogue? Did you guys ever speak or talk?
We talked, but it was one of the type of situations where it's like I do things a certain way, and I deal with people a certain way. You understand me? Mm-hmm. But here's somebody that's on the label that sit here in front of everybody and refer to me as the new nigga.
Okay.
I'm not, I drive my own car. I'm fun being cramped up in the limo with the new nigga and stuff like that. It's like, I'm not on. So doing stuff the way I know or the way I normally do shit might mean I lose a deal.
Correct. You see Kane's shoulders and his whole MC shit coming out. You see his whole rap. You saw him, right? Like his whole MC, like.
So I got to sit and eat that. But again,
and you respected it. You seem like you didn't have a problem with it. You seem like you understood it.
Well, it's like this, I felt like once I'm on,
once I get my turn, then it is gonna be.
But nobody's gonna want any smoke.
But we ended up becoming cool, and we like great friends now. We call each other and talk shit all the time now.
Okay, all right. So now, Symphony, right? Shan's not on that record. How come? I'm just curious. I've heard different stories, but
Shan was never supposed to be on the record.
Oh, he was never had a verse, never. Okay.
Somebody told Ace a story about Shan wanting to be on it, but none of that was true. Shan was never supposed to be on it. What happened was, me and G-Rap rhymed off the beat from Raw.
Okay.
And Marley used to play that. And
on the radio?
Yeah.
Raw freestyle, yeah.
Yeah, it was a freestyle with me and G rhyming off the beat. So Raw. Marley used to play it, and everybody's requesting it on the regular. So Marley said, I need y'all to do that for my album.
Gotcha.
So it was supposed to be just me and G.
Okay. Okay.
Then next thing you know, Marley says, yo, I want to put Craig on. He had the Duck Alert joint. I heard it. I'm like, you know, yo, Craig killing this, you know? Okay, yeah. Then the day that we shoot the cover for his album, we go back to his house, let's do the song. All of a sudden, out of clear blue, Marley says, yo, this is my new artist. We're going to put him on
Who
the
is
song
he?
too, Master Ace.
Okay. Tough.
You know, but you know, it's like this is my first time, and Ace like had the ill, crazy, like looking glasses on.
Give you a minute. Give you a minute. Give you a minute.
Nah, I mean,
Kane.
like word is born. Me and G over in the corner, like, yo, let's go say we gonna get some pizza and get the fuck up out of here, man, because this ain't right, you know.
Yo, that's some old school shit. When a nigga like, nah, I'm gonna go down the street, I'm gonna get something, I'm gonna be right back.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess whatever time it took, Ace had spit his verse, and I'm like tapping G, like, yo, glass is kind of nice, man. You know, I could.
He hurting it.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, dude, it's kind of nice. And then like, I guess by the time Craig went, I'm sitting there like, you know, like,
And you didn't do your verse yet.
no.
But you're seeing where this is going.
Yeah.
Like this is.
But we
is
at a
getting-
point now where I'm sitting there like, yo, I kind of like Glass's verse better than Craig, man. Like, you know, this is like, yeah, I slept on dude. Okay. And then G go,
So that you understand, New York, this is so how dues had to be paid back then. That was so important for your next level of movement because you learned so much and you used to. It was called respect in actuality, and you paid dues. And but it was also a time period where talent got recognized. Like once somebody recognized your talent, such as a Big Daddy Kane, it was a big deal. So then now,
then G go after that.
G,
And
okay.
Remember the joint that Thought came up here and did?
Yeah.
Okay, some shit like that happened. She ran for like 10 goddamn hours.
This is how it went.
Like the tape, and this is, you know, real
on reel to reel.
2-inch time.
Mm-hmm.
The 2-inch done spent off the reel. I ain't even get to go yet. And G, his lisp ass still sitting with the queen, the fleet, the hamster,
Going
the tape
hard.
van off the joint. And I ain't even get to rock yet. And now, so we in there trying to talk to G about, yo, well, won't you cut it at this point? Won't you cut it at that? And then G just finally got upset. You know, fuck it, I'll just say another verse. Yeah.
And go someplace else with it.
Yeah.
Now, did the fact that Master Ace and Craig G doing well, did it make you step your bars up that day? Did you feel you needed now to really hurt him?
Nah, I mean, because it was like, because he'll tell you, I mean.
Was you
I
at
used to
that
take-
session, C?
Huh?
Was you at that
I
session?
wasn't at the session.
He'll tell you, I used to take Ace on the road.
We used to take Master
Okay.
Ace on the road with us.
Yeah, Ace would go on the road with us, like, you know, just to see what it, you know, feel it out, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it was like with me, like my thing was like to see what Biz went through, because I was there for a lot of it, and Shantae, none of them knew who I was.
Got you.
Like the first time when Biz went to go do Death Fresh Crew, as soon as we got downstairs at Power Play, Biz just turns to me and says, "Don't tell him you're an MC.
Oh,
Don't say
respect.
nothing about us being a crew together."
So there's no energy.
Yeah,
Let it
so
just be
I'm
natural.
I'm in that bitch just like I'm just a plus one. You feel me? Like I so they don't know what I do.
So just rhyming with Biz, his name was Shantae. You was at that session.
Death Fresh Crew.
That Fresh Crew.
Yeah,
You was at that
Yeah.
session. Now this is,
that's 85.
That's 85.
but that record's on Pop Art.
Pop art from out of Philly, yeah.
But they did it at Power Play.
Okay. Who else was in that session? Just there.
Shan, Marley, Magic, and Fly Tie.
Okay. So then they just came up with it on the spot. Like we're just.
Well, you know,
gonna-
Shantae used to rhyme off the top of the head.
always.
Yeah, all those songs from Roxanne's Revenge, up to I guess Death Fresh.
That Fresh Crew
was all the
Well,
time.
that was off the
First
top of
written
her head.
song was the joint I did for her to Have a Nice Day. That was her first written song.
So she would do those verses, right? And then I guess if she got a rough, then she would stick with it.
if I can remember correctly, Shantae did about 3 takes. Like with her just going straight through.
That's impressive, my
end.
brother. That's impressive.
You know,
and she
and they kept the best one.
Wow, that's impressive. How did you? Well, congratulations to Shantae on the movie. How did you like the her Netflix movie?
I love it. I love it. You know, because I mean, you guys said a lot of that stuff I had no knowledge of because I wasn't there. I came near. My first time seeing Shantae was when they did Death Fresh Crew.
Got you.
You see what I'm saying? So that's really my introduction.
Not
to her.
DJing for her yet. You were just
Nah.
Okay. So then now, you had said something which I don't want to miss. Okay, you said how Master Ace, you had him on the road. So Symphony was the same verses when it was done. It was the same verses that you had heard that day in the studio. All are there. Everybody lays their verses, right? But in the video, I feel like you're in that shot someplace different. Or were you someplace different in the video? It was the same.
Yeah.
I know I'm asking for tidbits because this is things I've been waiting to ask you for like 30 years, 20 maybe. So, did you guys shoot it someplace? Your part was shot someplace else?
Yeah, everybody else was upstate New York, like at some was it a ranch?
Yeah, like a ranch.
Yeah, it was like some ranch thing.
That
So they could
video
do-
Like on the borderline of New York and Canada.
yeah,
That
so they
video
could do
was
the whole
so
western
hard.
feel. Yeah.
Okay, so now, how you had Master Ace out, but you also had Big Daddy, not Big Daddy Kane. You are Big Daddy Kane. You had Jay-Z out there with you, sometimes, in the very beginning, right? So how did you and Jay even meet back then? What year did you and him meet?
Was that had to be 88 because I think one of the verses I said on that mixtape was the verse I used on the symphony.
Yeah.
So yeah, it had to been like 88.
88. So now 88, because I mean, I know people always praise you for bringing out Jay, but I'm always curious about where did you see him and what did you see in him that
You remember the Shirt Kings in Queens?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Nike from the Shirt Kings asked me about doing a mixtape with Fresh Gordon with Jazz.
Okay.
Now
Now, when you say mixtape back then, like a tape where you rhyme on it and everything and songs but so it's Fresh Gordon's mixtape?
Yeah.
Okay.
because Gordy had joints going through the hood. And I'll keep it 100 with you. Jazz was probably the hottest unknown artist in Brooklyn.
And we knew of him too in the Bronx. Like we knew of him.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. We knew of
So,
him.
That's the status that I wanted.
Okay.
And just do Gordy around the corner from me, doing stuff with a cat from Marcy.
But at this time you have music out.
No.
You don't have music out when his tapes.
No. When we did it, yes, I had music, but I'm going back. I mean,
Gotcha.
talking, Jazz been popping. I mean, I'm talking about since like 84, 85, when he got a name in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And dude from around the corner rocking with a cat from Marcy. So when they asked me, I'm like, okay, we do this here if we battle. Let it be a battle.
Was everybody okay with it?
That's what I was told until I got there, and then Gordy tells me, "Nah, we're not gonna do a battle. We just want y'all
Until I got there. Yeah, that's the real corner shit. It was all good till I got there. Nah,
I mean, when I
everybody's
got there, they
switching
said
up.
it's not. Well, I mean, that's
Switching up.
I mean, who knows? Maybe Jazz did want to do it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is Gordy saying, "Nah, we don't want to do that. We just want y'all to rhyme." You know what I'm saying? So it ended up being us just rhyming, and then only thing Jazz said to me was like, "Yo, can my man rhyme on it too?"
This is Jay.
This is Jay.
This is 88.
8. Yeah. So we do this here tape.
Oh, I see. So you, out of your respect for Jazz and knowing that he came up
Now I
through the
came to
hood-
battle.
Oh,
But then, like I said, Gordy said that it's not gonna be a battle. We just want y'all to do the what you call it.
yo, this is
You
real
know.
MC talk.
And but I mean, just sort of.
But you felt like he was a good opponent.
exactly.
You felt like there was some respect
I
here.
mean, at that point in time, I'm Big Daddy Kane, so I'm that dude, But I mean,
But I want smoke.
before
But I
then-
want smoke.
Before then, no. Before then, I ain't gonna lie. Back 84, 85, I was jealous of the fact that he was more
Nah.
popping in Brooklyn than me. 'Cause neither one of us had deals, but he was.
Let's
more
deal
poppin'.
with it today.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, it took a long time, but we here now. Let's go ahead and do it.
See, when Jazz had that first record, The Wine, Sophie, and everything else, I remember just asking people from Brooklyn about him, and people would be like, "Yo, kid, what that is not what he is. He's something else."
No, he had tapes out with him spitting.
So that's people would explain that to me then.
Yeah, no, Jazz had joints out of him spitting incredibly, So I wanted, that's what I want, But
So you're really there to go see Jazz, Fresh Gordon, right? 88, right? This
No,
tape.
I just agreed to do this thing with Gordy.
Gordy, and then and Jazz is
I had an
involved.
issue with Gordy too, man. I'm like, yo, I live around the corner from you, and you go get a dude from Marcy. So I had an issue with Gordy as well. You see what I'm saying? But anyway,
Look.
he asked, Jazz asked, can his man rhyme? I'm like,
88
this
and
ain't-
Jay-Z comes up.
Yeah. So when we finished the tape,
Where are you when this is happening? Like, what part are you in the studio? Or you,
in Fresh Gordy's house, his studio was in his crib.
okay, you're in
Same
Brooklyn.
place around the corner from where I used to live, from on Van Buren.
Now you're Big Daddy Kane,
Yeah.
selling a lot of units.
Yeah.
And there's Jay-Z and there's Jazz. This is Jazz maybe trying to. No,
I'm getting to that.
he's getting okay.
I'm
all right,
getting
I'll
to
let you
that.
get to the story.
So after we finish, then that's when Gordy and Nike come to me. Nike from the Shirt Kings. They come and they say, "Yo, we trying to get Jazz a new deal."
Got you.
So
This is before he got
No, I
before
think-
EMI. He didn't get to EMI
he had
yet.
a deal prior, right?
Nah, not when you not he didn't have he didn't have his.
This
deal.
is before Hawaiian Sophie.
This is before Hawaiian Sophie. He didn't
Yeah,
have no
yeah,
deal.
yeah. Okay.
Well, anyway, they was talking about getting Jazz a deal on this here and asking would I help to do this here, and I said, yeah, I mean I could do that. I'm like, I mean, I got respect for Jazz. I could do that, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I like the light skinned motherfucker better.
This nigga's hard. He's how he was spitting.
So, long story long, I end up, connecting with Jay, and we start working, and we was trying to record songs on him. But then I did the joint with Patti LaBelle, and that was my first time really seeing where someone come on stage, leave stage in the middle of the show, and change outfits, and then come back and then rock like another half an hour.
You saw Patty do this.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, this is some crazy shit hip hop need to see. So that's when we started doing our shows, right? Where it would be like just me with female dancers on stage. My homegirls Vanessa and Val, they'd be up on stage. I had female dancers, and I'm rocking first half.
Gotcha.
And after I finish the first half, I call out Jay-Z and Positive K.
Okay.
And let them come out and freestyle while I go backstage, change clothes to the same shit that
tough.
Scoob and Scrap had. Then I come back out and finish the show with Scoob and Scrap.
Scoop and Scrap is legendary out here in this dance community, and at the time was the bar for dance niggas. That was the bar, and then when you jump into the routines, that's what put a lot of rappers to bed, because when you can't jump into that routine and rock. Oh man, I didn't know you brought Positive K out as well. Oh, you
At the
was
same time, it was Paz and Jay-Z. I had them on the road.
okay.
And, we in the middle of the show, C would cut up that was the Spread Love joint.
Spread the 45 King Spread Love. Spread love.
Yeah.
The drum beat at
With
the
the
end.
Ike and Tina Turner drums.
Okay, so now because I'm going, there's so much shit coming out here, it's making me dizzy. Because, yes, you brought Positive K and you brought
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z. And because I want to go back to the Jay-Z thing happening, but you also, because now you were on the Budweiser Superfest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you also brought out, because that legendary Biggie freestyle is from your show, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you brought out Biggie and Tupac.
Yeah.
So how did he, and is it Schoolboy Scrap is rhyming on there? Is there anybody else that was rhyming on there?
Shaheem from Wu-Tang.
Shaheem from Wu-Tang. How did that even come about? What venue is that?
That was at Madison Square Garden.
So this is at Madison Square Garden,
October 1993. I don't remember the date, but it was
1993. So it's a Budweiser Superfest, right? So who else is on that show?
Patti LaBelle, Belle Biv DeVoe, After 7. It was an all R&B show.
But I
Levert.
remember they always used to have one big rap act
Right.
on
And
that
we
show.
was the big rap act.
Okay, so
Light was on it too, right?
Light was on it.
did you know Biggie? Did you know Pac? Did you know these people
I
personally?
knew Pac, but this all came through C. C said that Biggie wanted to come,
Okay.
and it was like, cool, let's. Then he said, yo, Big said he gonna bring Pac.
Okay. Wow.
And, that's when my antennas go up, because Pac is popping.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
he's like 2 or 3 records in, right?
But Kane had already heard Biggie rhyme because I used to play Big's demos on the tour bus.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Kane, Scuba,
You knew
Scrap,
of him.
they already knew about Big, and they met Big. He met Big.
But Big doesn't have a song out at this time.
No,
He's not even with Biggie. He's not even with Puff yet.
Yeah, the
Party and bullshit.
Yeah.
It's out.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Pac is Get Around and
like,
Mama
that-
Joint.
yeah,
Brenda's got a baby on it.
Yeah, all of that was out. But what
He's like 3 joints deep.
Yeah, but what the response of Pac really was based off of him just. Poetic Justice had just came out. The movie had just came out.
Got it.
And he was there filming Above the Rim.
He was in town filming Above the Rim.
He was there.
But Poetic Justice was just in theaters maybe a week or two prior to our show.
So he comes out, they lose their mind in there.
He's Marlon Brando on this fucking stage.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was the Garden. I don't know why I thought it was the Ritz.
Now it was at the
Nah,
Garden.
it
This
was
is at
the
Madison Square Garden.
Give me a little more credit for that.
I know. I'm sorry. I only he explained just C had gave me that freestyle,
The vinyl.
the vinyl, eons.
You had it on one of your joints.
And, oh no, well, he
way before.
he gave it to me like no. It went through a couple places in my mind. I remember being at the Greek Fest at Best of Biggie, right? And I may have called you from. I don't know if I called you from the Greek Fest. I remember that. I heard some pieces on there. So C comes and he plays at the tunnel, and he's doing his thing, and he throws this on, sends the place into a frenzy. I'm like, C, you didn't give me that shit. What the fuck is that? And he's like, I gave this to you 100 times.
Gave
So
you like 10 copies.
I went home, dig through all my shit, because as a DJ, you don't want to go back to it. Nigga. I go home like, nah, that's not it. Ooh, I found it. Yo, that freestyle, C, is so legendary out here. Like, that's a legend.
I recorded that on a 120-minute cassette inside the Garden.
But just the fact that you didn't even think to record it.
Yeah.
But that's him, though.
But technically, you really recording it to take it back to the block with the homies.
Yeah, I recorded it just like just for the moment. I didn't think of radio. I didn't think of
Nah, but dude
mixtapes.
documents everything.
I recorded it just to
you
just like how we're recording what we're recording right now, just to have it, as an archive. And I begged the sound man at the Garden, please let me record this. And I record, like I said, it was a 120-minute cassette. That was when we had 1 hour on one side, so because I didn't want to miss nothing. And then I listened back to it, and then it came to me like, yo, I should put this on vinyl.
Mean. It's a
And
mean.
then we took it from there.
It's a mean freestyle. It's Biggie so raw. It's so raw. Pac so, but you can listen in their voice and feel like you can hear that they are lobbying and fighting for the shine. Like,
Right.
I want you to see.
But if
me.
you think about it, it's just like what Kane said earlier in this interview, how Biz put him on, and Biz took him everywhere. And and then the struggle that he went through trying to break through as an artist with Cold Chillin' and with the Juice Crew, and then once he broke through, Kane himself grabbed the Positive
you were
K's
taught
and the
that.
Jay-Z's and the Master Aces and the Pacs and the Big. He grabbed them along. So it's just a testament, like what Kane said about what he learned from Biz and what he learned from being around people like Biz. That once he got the opportunity, he pulled those people along and gave them the olive branch.
So how does Jay-Z then now? Because I remember that album, that tour. There's some footage floating around too, like sometime you and Jay going to the radio station and sometime freestyling and stuff like that. So then, what does Jay then get his own deal and then continues to move on and then build Rockefeller? How does that work afterwards? After you're taking him on the road?
Jay pretty much restructured everything he was doing, because the stuff that he was doing with me wasn't, like the material that he ended up coming out with. So he pretty much, I guess, just, fell back, revamped everything,
Got you.
found a different direction that worked better for him, and the rest was history.
I want to ask your opinion on something, and this is probably going to be my final question, but to me, my most important question, because I did ask you about Roxanne's, Shantae's movie, and I was a little vocal on the gram about I loved it, and I loved her story, and I'm a big fan of her as a rapper, and also the what she's paved for women rappers. And I do feel she doesn't get the accolades for that, being that sometime that first
Agree.
person who really, pioneer is the wrong word. She had a passion. She happened to be a girl, and she was a passion, but it did pave a way for you to now, because the way hip hop and labels are structured, if one person's successful, you look for the next, and you look for the next to sign.
Here's the deal, Flex. Pardon me for cutting you
It's
off.
cool.
Lauryn Hill came in through the Fugees. Light came in through Milk and Giz.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Foxy through Nas, Jay-Z, Kim through Biggie. And like that's normally what you've seen happen with a lot of Rod Digger through Buster.
Mm-hmm.
That's normally what you've seen happen with a lot of female rappers. Shantae is the one that carried the Juice Crew, that like created that format for men to eat, for male
Right.
rappers to eat.
In the camp.
You know what I'm saying? She was that hip hop Harriet Tubman, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's what she was. And then to top it off, anybody that knew her battle history knew that she could walk up in the Quarters, the Roxy,
Yeah.
Union Square, and male artists with record deals that's famous would be scared to death.
Yeah, because her bars were valid.
Yeah, not only that, they knew that she start shit. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't have to be like someone say let's battle. She
It
just
could-
might be in that mood tonight.
It might start happening.
Yeah, she might just cause you next to her. You get it.
And I was, Kane, and you said a couple times in here tonight where you talked about something playing on radio and Marley and when even you and him working together. I was disappointed because I'm a radio DJ and because I do understand what a cosign and an influence is. I was disappointed of Marley's portrayal in that movie, because I do feel like I feel like it's a marriage where I feel like Shantae is talented, and you have a talented rapper, and you have your DJ is one of the most respected DJs on the radio. He's a top producer, well, on his way. Maybe he wasn't there as yet. But
Okay.
he was on his way, and I felt like it was downplayed in that flick because my first hearing of Shantae is on the radio. There's no internet. There's no you couldn't even
I understand what you're saying.
you know what I'm saying. So I was disappointed because I felt like yes, that talent is there and everything else, but it's a marriage. This guy has there was a point where whatever I heard on BLS through Marley was intriguing to me, and I wanted to purchase as a guy home. Like
No.
oh,
Marley
there's
and Magic
there's a new artist.
made a lot of people careers.
And-
a lot of people
And,
careers.
and I was disappointed. I loved everything from else, and I got it. But I felt like that's a part of like how this history book works now. Is look, whether we don't like something or we don't, like that history book and the accolades, I think should be left intact. Hey, there may be things I may not like about a Drake, but I'm never gonna take away from whatever his sales, his influence, and his. We can all say now in 2018 that there's all this money in the rap game, but guess what? Drake kept that money coming, even though it wasn't top tier yet. So
I understand what
how
you're
I may feel about him. So it bothers me. I want to be real honest. It bothers me.
I think it might have been the type of thing where they were just really trying to focus on the struggles that she was going through as a young girl trying to get on in the industry, as opposed to
how it
what
happened.
else? Yeah.
I get that.
How the success happened. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like the creativity of the producer or the role play of the air personality. I think that was the stuff that they wasn't really trying to focus on. I think they wanted, because you gotta always keep in mind, you never know what's the targeted demographic.
And listen, there could be a
Targeting women. I don't think women care about who.
Correct.
So
But,
it's really,
and even in
really
1,000, and I don't even want to. There's been 1,000 radio personalities in the game. I have never lived or seen. I didn't know it at the time. Like, I'm hearing new dope rappers every weekend on the radio, and this guy is like telling me like this is it. Like, you know, Mr. Magic, he gave class, and he gave it like meaning, like to hear somebody that could speak properly. Now this is some raw hip hop street shit, but here's this guy, he's giving these slang words and this feeling to it. He's telling you what goes on in the club. He's named the boroughs, you know, money making Manhattan or Boogie Down, bro. I never heard none of this in my life. I'm just a kid from the Bronx, you know, so, and unifying it and like, and saying, you know, I could tell even now, 30 years later, that he liked Flash and Curtis Blow, because even in the midst of new shit coming, he would always mention those.
Well, you know, the original Juice Crew were a lot of those dudes.
And he would mention those movements, and it's because I've heard Shan and Marley go on that internet a little. Not even Marley.
Oh, you mean Daddy Kane?
Yeah, and that energy. So it's like, I
Everybody's
guess.
had their drama, but I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Marley Marl is and will forever be, you know, super producer for what he has done for hip hop. You know, I mean, you know, you're gonna hear a lot of people that, you know, feel like he didn't produce it. He didn't produce that, with me included, being one of them. But I can't take nothing away from what Young, Gifted, and Black on my second album. That's Marley. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and just watching him, like when I sat there and watched him make the beat for I'll Take You There, I'm sitting there like, you know, and then even when we parted ways, dig this. When I parted ways, making stuff like Warming Up Kane.
Hard.
Check this out,
What
though.
sample did you use? Is that a sample?
Yeah, Big Bad John by John Hamilton.
How'd you find that?
Biz gave it to me. He called me like I got something. It's too fast.
Oh my Christ!
Yeah, well, now Cool V called me and said Biz.
Then after that, then the noise comes. You're like, oh, this is
Understand me though.
something.
Listen to Warm It Up, and then listen to Raw. So it's like, even though
Yeah, it's
you
a
can still
tempo.
put that, no, but even though it's still, even though it's still fast and all this, it didn't have to grit like Raw that came from out of Marley's studio, because there was a certain sound that just came out of his studio. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Marley, yo, man, he's a great producer, and I think he's done, and you know, a lot of us have learned a lot of great
and I
things
think
from
at the
him. I have
time-
respect for him. And Magic, let me just say this here real quick. Magic, to me, is probably, no, he's definitely, I think, the best hip hop air personality ever. And one of the best air personalities ever, not just hip hop. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause let me show you the ill thing, that the way he could make people not listen to Red or just stroll down the dial and then hurry up and zoom back. He'll do something like, hey Marley, man, you heard about what happened to Dana Dane at the quarters?
And it would never come back with a story.
I got to tell you about after this here break, WBLS.
But I'd never hear the story. He would never get to it.
The fact that he said it before a break, now you scared to turn to Red in case
you
you
don't
don't miss
want
the
to.
story.
And the commercial blasting loud out your car because you're waiting to come back.
Amazing, like his mind, the way, amazing.
I used to tell Chuck and don't lie. I listened to everybody. I used to be like, yo, man, those guys was really getting it on down there. We gotta listen to those dudes. Those dudes are like, Magic would stop talking and Marley get the vocal in as soon as he stopped talking. Like, but I didn't learn how hard that was, you know, till we got on the radio. Like, when you get on the radio, it's like, damn, how would they coordinate all of that? And it took time, but I am a big fan of, I'm a huge fan of the Juice Crew. I'm a huge fan of, you know, the Juice Crew, it really took 10 years after and 15 to be appreciated and to keep it a buck, because then we've seen some great rappers coming that time, but we saw some garbage coming through too. So then you respected, yo, there was 5, 6 dope dudes and a chick, like they was all dope. Someone's A&Ring that. Like, it's not just by fluke and accident. It's not just one person. So it's definitely a movement that's appreciated now more than ever. And I appreciate the time and the stories, my brother.
Oh no, my pleasure, and I appreciate the compliments coming from you, man, because you done seen several different eras and generations of this thing of ours.
I've
man.
seen some greatness and some whackness.
But it's like you've seen it from different generations, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you understand it, from all levels. Okay, game change. Okay, I like this better. Game change. I like that better.
And let's go with it.
So it means a lot, coming from you,
And I appreciate your time, and congratulations on the 30th anniversary. That's an amazing album, a great album that still stands the test of time.
Wednesday, June 20th, baby. Coney Island, Brooklyn. Long Live the Kane 30th anniversary, baby. Everybody free.